So the other day on Reddit, I came across a post that kind of got me thinking. Is there a such thing as someone being too old for gaming? What's up, guys? This is Azure Tony, the Double XL Otaku, your Cat Daddy Pro Tag here. And it was something that really got me thinking. Now, to start off with, I am. Wait, how old am I? I always forget. Because some days I feel a lot older, some days I don't. But I'm 42 years old. So if there's a limit to gaming, I've probably passed it at this point. But basically, the thread was people kind of going back and forth on whether the person was too old to game or not. The person in question was someone who was getting to be 30, and they were wondering if they needed to start to have other hobbies in life because they were starting to get made fun of at work for gaming. And basically, it comes down to the question of, is there such a thing as a age limit for gaming? The short answer to that is no. Do what you want, game however you want, however long you want, at whatever age you want. I mean, there's literally grandmothers on YouTube and Twitch who game. And one was just recently doing a charity stream to raise funds for her grandson's cancer treatment. Unfortunately, she got swatted during that, which is, a pretty horrible thing to do to somebody. But getting back to the topic at hand, gaming is something that encompasses all ages. If you're someone who's in your 30s or 40s, or even your 20s or teens, and you think that you're a little too old, not just for gaming, but for specific games, you're not. Now, am I going to tell you you're not going to get made fun of if you're 40 years old playing My Little Pony or Bluey? No, you're probably going to get made fun of by people. And you're going to have to accept that. I'm not going to be one of the ones to make fun of you, but there are people who will make fun of you if you're a grown adult playing children's games or games that are made for children. Now, likewise, if you're, and this is something that I think is very specific to kids, that if you're playing those type of games and you're 15, 16 years old, the other kids are going to make fun of you because you're not playing, Call of Duty or Devil May Cry or what have you. But those same kids are also going to make fun of you if you're playing games based on anime or you're playing RPGs. Like if you're booting up Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined over, Disco Elysium or something of that nature, they're probably going to be making fun of you. So it basically comes down to, there's no age limit to gaming. Do what you want. Game how you want. And those people that make fun of you and question you, screw them. They're not you. They don't make your decisions in your life. And at the end of the day, you got to do what you enjoy. What's fun to you? Because no matter what your hobby is, there's no such reasoning whatsoever that there's no amount of mental gymnastics that you can pull off to convince me at 42 years old that gaming is any worse of a hobby than sitting watching Netflix all day. That you are somehow more adult by watching Netflix all day or watching movies of a certain type over watching anime, for example. You know, you're not going to be able to convince me that somehow there's an age limit to where you got to go, well, time to put away the Nintendo. It's time to get on with the Call of Duty, or it's time to put away Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation and all the others. And, well, Netflix and chill. Which, you know, I thought as a society we'd gotten to the point where video games were more accepted. But I've learned over the past week or so that as a general society, a lot of people seem to think that very negatively about people who play video games. At least the ones I've come across on Reddit. Now, you can say that Reddit in and of itself is a certain group of people. And I also always say that any version of social media as a whole, you're going to get a subset of society. Now, whether it's a good subset, a bad subset, you know, there's debates to be had over the quality and quantity that you come across on social media. And as someone mentioned, yes, I do talk with my hands. I am part Italian. That's just something we do. Has nothing to do with anything, but it just popped in my head that it has been mentioned. And yes, I talk with my hands. But from me to you, it's okay to be an older gamer. It's okay to be in your 40s and still gaming, in your 50s and still gaming, in your 70s or 80s and still gaming. If you have the mental capacity to still do it and you love to do it, do it. You know, there's no hard and fast rule over when you need to stop something related to gaming. There are some hobbies that as you get older, you need to stop. As far as society is concerned, video gaming should not be one of them. Playing with Legos should not be one of them. You can create a lot of things with Legos, and it's almost an art form. Hell, I think if you like playing with Play-Doh, you know, in your 40s, you should still play with Play-Doh as long as you're actually doing something constructive with your time. Which video games are constructive. You are satisfying part of your brain when you play a video game. Whether that's learning something, whether that's exploring, whether that's just setting off the neurons when you have to think. Just setting off the neurons when you have to give that thoughts and provoke upon yourself for the process of, I'm just using big words now. I don't trust me. There was somewhere I was going with that. And it just turned into big word salad. But yeah. Now that we got that out of the way, I do also want to mention that I have begun to once again stream on Twitch over at twitch.tv/Azure Tony. And we started a couple days ago. And it's been fun so far. And hopefully it'll continue to be. Hope to see you there. Because, you're never too old for gaming. This has been Azure Tony. Today, we talked about some fun in gaming. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves too. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll catch you next time. Arigatou gozaimasu.